Jack it up.
Get this. Someone you know right now, they could be a master manipulator just hiding in plain sight.
Oh, yeah.
They seem totally charming, normal, but right there, beneath the surface, lies a chilling lack of empathy.
Yeah.
Today, we're going deep into the world of sociopaths and psychopaths. Can help you understand the difference.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Sassy Scoop TV.
Right.
I'm Alex.
Yep.
And with me always is the incredible Casey.
It's great to be here.
So, Casey, listeners are new to this.
Yeah.
Let's break down, the basics.
Sure.
What qualifies someone as a sociopath?
Okay.
Or a psychopath?
Both terms, they actually refer to people with antisocial personality disorder, or ASPD.
ASPD, yeah.
Yep. And these are people who consistently disregard social norms, laws, the rights of others.
So it's not just like being a rebel.
No, this is
the deep-seated.
deep-seated behavior.
Okay, so
Yeah.
they both fall under ASPD, but they're not exactly the same thing.
Right. They're not. Think of it this way. Okay. Psychopaths, they're like meticulously crafted chess players.
Oh, okay.
They're incredibly calculating,
Okay,
often charming, and appear trustworthy.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's all a facade.
It's all fake.
They crave power and control.
So they're like the masterminds,
Exactly.
kind of in the background pulling the strings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, sociopaths, those are more like a sudden storm.
Oh,
They're impulsive,
got it.
prone to risky behavior, and their true nature might be a little easier to spot.
Yeah.
They're not always as good at maintaining that consistent mask.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So one's more calculated, the
Yeah.
other's more explosive,
Uh-huh.
but they both, share that disregard for others.
Yes.
What else is similar?
Well, both of them struggle with empathy.
Okay.
They have a really hard time understanding or caring about other people's feelings.
Yeah.
And this lack of empathy, it can make them so manipulative
Yeah.
and exploitative,
Right.
using either their charm or intimidation to just get what they want.
It's kind of chilling to think about.
It is.
Right. And they can both be dangerous too,
Absolutely, yeah.
but how they express that danger can be different.
Exactly,
Yeah.
as we were saying.
Okay, so we've talked about the similarities, but what about the differences?
Okay, well,
What are some key differences?
one major difference
Yeah.
is how they plan their planning.
Okay.
Psychopaths are very meticulous planners,
Okay.
while sociopaths are much more impulsive.
Okay.
They often act in the heat of the moment.
So it's
Think of it
like a long con versus
like a marathon runner
a quick
versus a sprinter, yeah.
Okay, got it.
The psychopath is in it for the long game.
Mm-hmm.
They carefully strategize each move,
Yep.
while the sociopath,
Yeah.
it's all about that immediate gratification.
Okay, yeah, that's a really helpful analogy.
Good.
So how about the way they interact with people?
Okay.
Are there any telltale signs
Sure, yeah.
that could help someone distinguish between the two?
Okay, well, while both can be charming,
Mm-hmm.
a psychopath's charm
Yeah.
is often more calculated,
Right.
superficial, designed to manipulate.
Right.
They often come across as glib and insincere,
Oh, okay.
even if they're incredibly convincing.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
Sociopaths, on the other hand, they might display genuine moments of warmth
Oh,
or connection,
interesting.
but they can quickly switch back to their callous and manipulative ways.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a psychopath's charm is like a performance.
It is, yeah.
But a sociopath, it's fleeting,
Yeah,
inconsistent.
right, more inconsistent.
Okay, got it.
Another key difference
Yeah.
is their emotional range.
Okay.
Now, while both lack deep empathy,
Uh-huh.
sociopaths can experience strong emotions,
Oh,
albeit often in a shallow and
Yeah.
fleeting way.
okay.
They might lash out in anger or experience some intense jealousy.
Yeah.
But these emotions tend to be short-lived.
Short-lived. Okay.
Psychopaths, on the other hand,
Yep.
they have a much flatter emotional effect. They
Interesting.
rarely experience genuine joy,
Okay.
sadness, or remorse.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So are there any common misconceptions
Oh, there are a lot.
that people have about these disorders?
One of the biggest ones
Yeah?
is that all sociopaths and psychopaths are violent criminals.
Oh, interesting.
Now, while some individuals with ASPD, they do engage in criminal activity,
Right.
it's important to remember that not all of them do.
Yeah, of course.
Some can be highly successful in certain fields like business or politics,
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
where their ruthlessness and charm
Yeah.
can be advantageous.
So just because someone's diagnosed with ASPD doesn't mean they're, like, automatically a criminal mastermind.
No, not at all, no.
Right.
Another misconception is that they're easy to spot.
Oh, okay.
Sociopaths and psychopaths can be incredibly skilled at blending in, appearing totally normal.
Right.
Which is why it's so important to understand their traits and behaviors.
Okay, Casey. So let's dive into those traits and behaviors.
Okay.
What are some red flags that our listeners should watch out for?
One of the hallmark traits
Yeah.
is this superficial charm
Okay.
and glibness. They often just have a way with words and can easily win people over,
Right.
but it's all very surface level.
So someone who's, like, overly charming right off the bat
Yeah, could be.
could be a potential red flag.
It's something to be mindful of, especially if it's coupled with other warning signs.
Right.
Another major red flag is a grandiose sense of self-worth.
Okay.
They often have an inflated ego
Got it.
and believe that they're superior to others.
So they might come across as, like, arrogant.
Yes, arrogant,
Not entitled.
entitled.
Yeah.
They might brag excessively,
Yeah.
downplay their faults,
Right.
and have a really hard time accepting criticism. Now, this doesn't mean that everyone with a big ego is a sociopath or psychopath,
Of course, yeah.
but it's a trait that's often present.
It's something to look out for.
Yeah.
Okay. What about their ability to, like, empathize with others? How does that work?
As we've talked about, a lack of empathy. It's one of the core features of ASPD. They really have difficulty understanding or caring about the feelings of others,
Right.
which can make them incredibly callous
Yeah.
and manipulative.
So they might not show remorse for their actions.
Right.
Even when they hurt others.
That's right. Yeah, they might rationalize their behavior, blame others,
Wow.
or simply just not seem bothered by the pain they've caused.
Okay.
Another common trait is pathological lying.
Okay, so, like, more than just
Oh, yeah.
little white lies.
They lie frequently
Okay.
and effortlessly,
Uh-huh.
often to manipulate situations or gain something for themselves.
So they're not just, like, little white lies. These are...
No, they're elaborate, calculated lies
Wow.
designed to deceive and control.
Okay.
They might create entire false personas
Oh, wow.
or fabricate stories to gain sympathy or trust.
So trust your gut if something feels off
Absolutely.
about someone's story or the way they're presenting themselves.
Yes, trust your gut.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Another red flag
Yeah.
is their impulsivity
Okay.
and tendency for risky behavior. They might act without thinking,
Yeah.
engage in dangerous activities,
Right.
or have a history of legal trouble.
Okay, so do you have any, like, real-life examples
Sure.
of these behaviors in action?
Remember the case of Robert Durst,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
the real estate heir,
Uh-huh.
convicted of murder?
Yeah.
Despite being on the run for this very serious crime,
Right.
he risked getting caught stealing a sandwich
Wow.
simply because he was hungry.
Okay.
Yeah,
That really highlights the impulsivity
it does.
and disregard for consequences.
Yeah, it's a stark example of how someone with ASPD can act on their immediate desires
Yeah.
without considering
Yeah.
the potential repercussions.
Okay, so we've covered some key traits, behaviors.
Right?
Now let's shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about the causes and
Yeah.
development
Yeah.
of these disorders.
Okay.
What leads someone down this path?
Well, it's a complex interplay of factors.
Okay.
And there's no single answer.
Got it.
Both genetics and early childhood experiences play a significant role.
So it's like a combo of nature and nurture.
It is, yeah. It is.
Okay.
Studies suggest that individuals with a family history of ASPD,
Okay.
they're at a higher risk of developing the disorder themselves.
Okay.
This suggests a genetic component, but it's not a guarantee.
So, like, genes might create a predisposition,
Exactly.
but then something have to, like, trigger it.
Right, right.
Okay.
That's where environmental factors come into play.
Okay.
Adverse childhood experiences. Yeah.
Such as trauma, abuse, neglect.
Right.
They can significantly contribute to the development of ASPD.
Okay.
These experiences, they can disrupt normal emotional and
Oh.
social development,
Yeah.
making individuals more susceptible to developing these traits.
That's really sad to think about.
It is, yeah.
So a child with a genetic predisposition who then experiences trauma
Yes.
is at a much higher risk.
Precisely, yeah.
Wow.
And research has also identified differences in brain structure and function in individuals with ASPD, particularly in areas related to emotional processing and impulse control.
So there's a biological component as well.
There is, yeah. Neuroimaging studies have shown that individuals with ASPD often have reduced activity in the amygdala, which is that part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, like fear and empathy. This could explain why they have difficulty understanding and responding
to the feelings of others.
This is all so fascinating, Casey.
It is.
We've covered a lot of ground already in this first part.
We have.
Defined sociopathy and psychopathy, looked at their similarities and differences, busted some common myths, explored their traits, behaviors, potential causes.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a complex and often misunderstood topic. But it's essential to understand these disorders so we can protect ourselves and those around us.
Absolutely.
That's a perfect segue into our next part.
Where
we'll delve deeper into how to identify and protect yourself from these individuals. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into the world of sociopaths and psychopaths.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll be back.
We will.
With more insights and practical tips. In the meantime. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Tell us what you think so far. And if you have any personal experiences that you'd like to share.
You're watching Sassy Scoop TV. If you're enjoying this podcast, don't forget to check out more of our videos for exciting content. And if you like this one, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and drop a comment below. We would love to hear from you.
Welcome back to Sassy Scoop TV.
All right.
We're picking up right where we left off, exploring this fascinating and sometimes unnerving world of sociopaths and psychopaths.
Absolutely.
It's certainly a topic that raises a lot of questions. Sparks a lot of curiosity.
For sure.
So last time we talked about the potential causes of these disorders. Genetics, childhood trauma. But how do those factors actually influence someone's brain development to create these personality types?
So imagine a house being built, all right? The blueprint, that represents the genetic predisposition. But the construction workers and the materials they use, that represents the environmental influences.
I like where this is going. So you're saying that genes provide the framework, but the environment shapes how that framework is actually built.
Exactly. Adverse childhood experiences can really disrupt the wiring of the brain. Especially in areas related to emotional processing, impulse control, empathy.
So the structure of the brain is being altered by these experiences.
That's what the research suggests.
Wow, that's intense. So they're not experiencing those emotions in the same way as someone without ASPD.
It's not that they're choosing to be callous or uncaring. Their brains might not be processing those emotions in the same way.
That's a really important distinction.
It is.
Because it helps to understand that these disorders are more than just bad behavior. There's a biological component at play here.
There is. Now there's another brain region that plays a role in ASPD. The prefrontal cortex. This area is responsible for what we call executive functions. Planning, decision-making, impulse control.
So damage or underdevelopment in this area could explain the impulsivity we often see.
Exactly.
And sociopaths.
Especially in sociopaths, And remember, the prefrontal cortex doesn't fully develop until adulthood. Which is why early intervention is so crucial.
That makes sense. Because if we can address these issues early on, maybe we can help guide brain development in a more positive direction.
Absolutely,
That's the hope.
That's the hope.
That we can get in there early enough and redirect things.
Early intervention can focus on teaching coping mechanisms, fostering empathy, and addressing any underlying trauma.
So we've talked about brain development, the role of genetics and environment. But I'm curious, can someone become a sociopath or a psychopath later in life? Or are these traits always present from childhood?
Now, that's a fascinating question.
Right.
While ASPD is a personality disorder, meaning a deeply ingrained pattern of behavior, some experts actually believe that certain life events or traumas can trigger the emergence of these sociopathic or psychopathic traits in individuals who might already have a predisposition.
So it's not like someone wakes up one day and they're suddenly a sociopath.
It's more nuanced than that.
Okay.
It's likely a really complex interplay of these pre-existing vulnerabilities and specific environmental triggers.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a seed that's been dormant and then something happens that causes it to sprout.
It's a great analogy.
Okay.
Now, it's really important to note that not everyone who experiences trauma will develop these traits.
Of course.
There are many other factors that contribute to resilience, things like strong social support, healthy coping mechanisms.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
That means there's hope.
It does.
Even for those who face difficult challenges in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
So shifting gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about the broader implications of these disorders for society.
Yeah.
So how do sociopaths and psychopaths impact our communities and institutions?
They pose significant challenges
Okay.
for our legal system,
Yeah.
workplaces, even personal relationships.
Okay, let's start with the legal system.
All right.
How does the law grapple with individuals who have ASPD?
It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
Okay.
On the one hand,
Yeah.
individuals with ASPD are responsible for a disproportionate amount of crime, especially violent crime.
So there's a need to protect society.
Programs. Absolutely.
But on the other hand, their mental health condition raises questions about their culpability and capacity for rehabilitation.
It's a delicate balance between ensuring public safety and recognizing these individuals have a mental illness.
And the law is constantly evolving.
It is.
Right.
Yeah.
As we gain a better understanding of these disorders.
Absolutely.
What about the workplace?
Okay.
I know we touched on this before.
Right.
But I'm curious to dive a bit deeper.
Sure.
How do sociopaths and psychopaths function in professional settings?
Some of them can be very successful.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Their ambition,
Okay.
ruthlessness,
Yeah.
ability to charm and manipulate
Right.
can propel them to positions of power.
So those traits that might be destructive in other contexts
Exactly.
can actually be advantageous in a corporate environment.
That's the irony.
Wow.
They might excel at sales, negotiations, leadership roles where they can exploit others to climb the ladder.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I imagine their lack of empathy, disregard for rules, create toxic work environments.
Absolutely. They might bully colleagues.
Oh, wow.
Sabotage projects.
Yeah.
Or engage in unethical business practices.
Right.
Without any remorse.
So they leave a trail of destruction in their wake.
Often, that's often the case.
Now, on a more personal level,
Okay.
the impact of these disorders on relationships can be devastating.
Devastating, yeah.
I think that's something a lot of our listeners
Yeah.
can relate to, unfortunately.
It's heartbreaking. Sociopaths and psychopaths often engage in this cycle
Okay.
of idealizing, devaluing, and discarding their partners.
So it's like this, up and down.
Yeah, a roller coaster.
Like a roller coaster of emotions.
A roller coaster.
From intense passion and attention to coldness and manipulation.
And this cycle can leave their partners feeling so traumatized.
Yeah.
Confused, emotionally drained.
So how can someone break free?
That's a good question.
From a relationship with a sociopath or a psychopath?
Well, the first step is recognizing the signs.
Okay.
We talked about some of the red flags earlier.
Uh-huh.
But it's crucial to trust your instincts. If something feels off in a relationship, don't ignore those feelings.
So pay attention to those gut feelings.
Pay attention to those gut feelings,
Right. And remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness.
Absolutely.
If your partner's consistently manipulative, disrespectful, emotionally abusive, it's important to seek help.
Yes.
And consider ending the relationship.
This is all incredibly insightful, Alex.
Oh, well, thank you.
You've really helped us understand the complexities
I'm glad.
of these disorders and their impact on individuals and society
Important.
as a whole.
It's a topic that deserves, like, attention and awareness.
It does, yeah.
But now, let's shift the focus to you. It's time to empower ourselves with knowledge and strategies so we can, like, navigate our social landscape.
Absolutely.
With more awareness and confidence.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've talked about red flags.
Right.
But what are some concrete steps our listeners can take to protect themselves from these individuals?
One of the most important things is to trust your gut instincts.
Okay.
If someone makes you feel uncomfortable, uneasy, or like something's just not right, pay attention to that feeling.
So even if you can't, like, pinpoint exactly what's wrong, it's better to, like, err on the side of caution.
Absolutely. Your intuition is a powerful tool. It's often trying to tell you something important. Don't dismiss those feelings, even if the person seems super charming or convincing.
That's so important because, like, we're often taught to be polite and give people the benefit of the doubt. But when it comes to your safety and well-being, it's okay to, like, prioritize your own feelings.
Exactly. And this leads to our next point. Setting boundaries.
Clear,
firm boundaries are so essential in all relationships, but especially when dealing with someone who might have these tendencies.
So how do we, like, go about setting those boundaries? What does that look like?
Start by being assertive in your communication. Clearly state your needs and expectations.
Got it.
For example, you might say, I need some space right now, or I'm not comfortable discussing this, you know.
And what if they try to, like, push back or guilt you into giving in?
That's where consistency is key. Stand your ground. Reinforce those boundaries. It's not about being rude. It's about protecting yourself. Remember, you have the right to say no. You don't owe anyone an explanation for prioritizing your well-being.
That's such an empowering message.
It is.
It's about taking control of your own life and choices.
Absolutely.
Another crucial aspect of protection is being mindful of the information you share. Especially early on in a relationship.
Especially early on.
So don't, like, overshare personal details too quickly.
Don't overshare. Be cautious about revealing sensitive information about your finances, your family, or your vulnerabilities. Sociopaths and psychopaths can use this information to manipulate or exploit you.
It's about being discerning.
Yes.
And protecting yourself until you truly, like, know and trust someone.
Exactly,
So let's say someone is listening to this and they realize they've been in a relationship with a sociopath or psychopath. What advice would you give them?
Okay, well, first and foremost, I want to say you're not alone. This is a more common experience than many people realize, and it's not your fault. These individuals are master manipulators. It's easy to get caught in their web.
It's not a sign of weakness or naivety.
It's a testament to their skill at deception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for those who are, like, trying to heal from this type of experience, the first step is acknowledging the abuse and validating your own feelings.
Absolutely.
It's common to feel confused, hurt, angry, even betrayed. Allow yourself to feel those emotions.
Don't blame yourself. Remember, you were manipulated and deceived.
That's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Now, seeking professional support can be incredibly helpful.
So helpful.
In the healing process.
A therapist who specializes in trauma and abuse can provide guidance, coping mechanisms, and a safe space to process your experience.
Building a strong support system is also crucial.
It is,
Surround yourself with people who love and support you. Talk to trusted friends, family members, or join a support group.
Sharing your story and connecting with others who understand can be incredibly healing.
And remember, healing takes time.
It does.
Be patient with yourself.
It's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. It's not linear. It's a process.
It is.
With ups and downs.
Ups and downs.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some, like, key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
Okay, well, knowledge is power. The more we understand about these disorders, the better equipped we are to protect ourselves. Trust your gut instincts. If something feels off, it probably is.
Right.
Set clear boundaries, enforce them consistently.
Right.
And most importantly,
Yeah.
remember that you deserve healthy, respectful relationships.
Beautifully said, Casey. It's been an incredible journey.
It has.
Exploring this, like, complex and often misunderstood topic.
Absolutely.
To our amazing listeners, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We hope this deep dive has been informative and empowering.
I hope so.
Remember, stay informed,
Stay vigilant,
and most importantly,
Yeah.
stay true to yourself.
Until next time. Stay sassy.
Stay sassy
And stay safe.
and stay safe. We'll see you next time.